Good morning, students. Welcome you all for next generation learning. Today we are going to see the subject physics, class 10, chapter number 12, electricity. Topics: resistance of a system of resistors, heating effect of electric current. The first topic: resistance of a system of resistor. There are two type of resistor. One is resistors in series connection and another one is resistors in parallel. The last class we have seen about resistors in series. Today we are going to discuss resistors in parallel. Resistors in series, we have learnt three important equation. The one is I equal to I, that means in series combination the current is same. In second equation V equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. The third equation, that means RS, the equivalent resistance is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So these are the main three equations we learned from resistors in series. The next, resistors in parallel. How do you identify the resistors in parallel? When the resistors are connected between the 2 point, then the connection is said to be resistors in series. Look at this definition. Three resistors are connected together between point A and B. See here R1, R2 and R3. These three resistors are connected between a point A and B. Here the resistors are said to be connected in parallel. So when the resistors are connected between 2 points, then the connections are said to be resistors in parallel. We done some activity in resistors in series. The same activity we have to do here also. First, make a parallel combination of three resistors having resistance R1, R2, R3 respectively. Connect with the battery, plug key and ammeter. See, the ammeter is here. Ammeter. And also connect voltmeter in parallel with the combination of resistor. So here I took the three resistor R1, R2, R3 and these resistors are connected to battery, key, ammeter and the voltmeter is connected between point A and B. Now plug the key, note the ammeter reading. Let the current be I1. I am noting the ammeter reading, that current should be I. Also take voltmeter reading. It gives potential difference across the combination. So I took the I current value and also voltage. That means potential difference. The next, the potential difference across each resistor is also V. How I am saying that the potential difference across each resistor is also V. This can be checked by connecting the voltmeter across each individual resistor. I connect the voltmeter first between of R1 resistor, then between of R2 resistor, between of R3 resistor. The result is the same in all the three resistors. So in parallel combination, the potential difference across each resistor is same. Now take out the plug key. Take out plug from the key. Remove the ammeter and voltmeter from the circuit. Insert ammeter in series with resistor R1. See here I removed this voltmeter. Just I connect the ammeter with R1. as shown in the figure, and note the ammeter reading. I noted the ammeter reading, that current is I1. The next, similarly, measure the current through R2 and R3. In R2 the current value is I2, in R3 the current value is I3. So what is the relationship between I1, I2 and I3? See the first circuit. In this circuit I measure the current, that is I measure the volt potential difference, that is volt. After I am connecting this voltmeter across R1, R2 and R3, I got the same value. What value I get here? The same value I get in between of R1, R2 and R3. But the current I is different for here and here and here. The I value is, the total I value is equal to I1, I2 and I3. So from this observation we can say that the I equal to I1, I2, I3. That means the total current I is equal to the sum of the separate current through each branch of the combination. So this is each branch of the combination, and sum represent the plus. So the total current I is equal to the sum of the individual current through each branch of the combination. And V equal to V, we know that. Now we are going to find the equivalent resistance. How to calculate the equivalent resistance? We already know in a series combination. Using a Ohm's law formula, we can find the equivalent resistance. So from the Ohm's law, I can written I equal to V by Rp. Here the Rp is nothing but equivalent resistance in parallel combination. The parallel represent P. The next, on applying Ohm's law, I know that I1 equal to V by R1, I2 equal to V by R2, I3 equal to V by R3. The total current, I know that I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. From the Ohm's law, I substituted the value of I is V by Rp. The I1 is V by R1, I2 is V by R2, I3 equal to V by R3. Why here the V is the same? In parallel combination, the voltage is the same across all the resistor. So I written V. But the current is different in different resistors. So I written I1, I2, I3. Here the V is common. So I take out from the both the side. Then I cancelled that. So 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This is the equivalent resistance formula. So from this we can say that this is 1 by. So we can say reciprocal. Reciprocal of the equivalent resistance. This is a reciprocal of the equivalent resistance. That is equal to the sum of the here also 1 by R1. So the reciprocal of the individual resistance. So the equivalent resistance, that means Rp is equal to sum of the reciprocal of the individual resistance. So in parallel combination, we have learned three equations. One is I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. The next one, 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. The third equation, V equal to V. Look at this numerical problem. Suppose the resistor R1, R2 and R3 have the values 5 ohm, 10 ohm, 30 ohm respectively, which have been connected parallel to a battery of 12 volt. So look at this circuit. Here I connected the 3 resistor, and this resistor is connected to battery, and the voltage of battery is 12 volt, and each resistor having the resistance 5 ohm, 10 ohm and 30 ohm. You have to calculate the first A question, a current through each resistor. You have to calculate a current through each resistor. That means I1, I2, I3. The total current in the circuit. I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. The third question, the total circuit resistance. The total circuit resistance is nothing but equivalent resistance. So solution, you have to write the given R1 equal to 5 ohm, R2 equal to 10 ohm, R3 equal to 30 ohm, and the V equal to 12 volt. First you have to calculate the current through each resistor. You know the formula, I1 equal to V by R1. The value of V is 12, the value of R1 is 5. So 12 by 5 equal to 2.4 ampere. The current through R2 resistor, I2 equal to V by R2. So the value of V is 12, the value of R2 is 10. The value of R2 is 10. So 12 by 10 equal to 1.2 ampere. I3 equal to V by R3. The value of V is 12, the value of R3 is 30. So 12 by 30 equal to 0.4 ampere. So the current through each resistor, I1 equal to 2.4 ampere, I2 equal to 1.2 ampere, I3 equal to 0.4 ampere. The next we have to calculate the total current in the circuit. You know the formula, I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. The value of I1 is 2.4. The value of I2 is 1.2. The value of I3 is 0.4. So when I add up, I got I equal to 4 ampere. So this is the total current in the circuit. The third question, the total resistance. How to calculate the total resistance? You know the formula, 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. And you have to substitute the value of R1 is a 5, R2 is a 10 and R3 is 30. So 1 by 5 plus 1 by 10 plus 1 by 30. You have to take a LCM. The LCM is 30. After completing this, after taking the LCM, I got the final value 10 by 30. If I cancel 0, 0, I got 1 by 3. So 1 by Rp value is 1 by Rp value is 1 by 3. So Rp equal to 3 ohm. So from this we can write it Rp equal to 3 ohm, because the unit of resistance is ohm. Here I equal to the unit of current is ampere, so I equal to 4 ampere. I hope you understood. In a resistance in parallel combination, the voltage is the same in across all the resistor, but the current is varying in different resistors. So we can write I equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3 and V equal to V. The equivalent resistance 1 by Rp, the P represent for the parallel combination, 1 by Rp equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. You have to do this homework. R1 equal to 10 ohm, R2 equal to 40 ohm, R3 equal to 30 ohm, R4 equal to 20 ohm, R5 equal to 60 ohm, and a 12 volt battery is connected in parallel. You have to connect a parallel connection. Total resistance in the circuit, the total current flowing in the circuit. The total resistance using 1 by Rp formula, you have to calculate the total current flowing in the circuit. You have to calculate the I value. So before going to calculating the I value, you have to calculate I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, because here there are the 5 resistor. So you have to calculate I1, I2, I3, I4, I5. Then you can, at the last, you can calculate total current in the total current flowing in the circuit. So what are the advantage and disadvantages of series and parallel connection? We have seen that in a series circuit, the current is constant throughout the electric circuit. So this current is constant. The sentence is learned from the activity, the last class activity. In a series combination, the current is same. So it is impracticable to connect an electric bulb and an electric heater in series because they need current of wildly different values to operate properly. So if you take in series combination, you know that the current is same in all the resistor. So we cannot connect the electric bulb and the electric heater in series combination because the electric bulb need some other current, some amount of current, and electric heater need some different value of current. So we cannot connect these two electric gadgets in series combination. So this is a main disadvantages of series combination. We cannot connect the different electric gadget in series combination because these different electric gadget need a different amount of current. But when we connect the electric gadget in series combination, the current is same the current is flowing, same amount of current is flowing in the both electrical gadget. And another major disadvantages of series circuit is when one component fails, the circuit is broken and none of the components are work. And you have used fairy light. This is a fairy light to decorate a building on festivals, marriage, and celebrations, etc. You have seen that electricians spending a lot of time in trouble locating and replacing dead bulb. Each has to be tested to find which has fused or gone. So if any one is broken, if you take in a series combination, if any one electric gadget is broken in the circuit, so none of other components are work. So this is a main and a major disadvantages of series combination. If a one component is maybe fails or broken, the none of the components are working. And also it is very difficult to replace the dead one. We don't know which one is dead. So we have to check all the electric gadgets connected in, we have to check all the electric gadgets connected in the series. So these are the disadvantages of series connection. So which connection is best connection? The parallel connection is the best because if you take in a parallel combination, the circuit divide the current through electrical gadget. If you take in a parallel combination, we have learned that the current is different in different electric gadget, different resistors. So we can connect the different electric gadget in parallel combination. In our home electric circuit are given only in the parallel combination. So mostly we are selecting the parallel combination in domestic electric circuit because if you take a TV need some current and a refrigerator need some current. We cannot connect the TV and the refrigerator in series combination because both the electrical appliance need different amount of current. So we have to connect the TV and refrigerator in parallel combination because in a parallel combination normally the current is different for different electric gadget, but the voltage is the same voltage. We can given 220 voltage is TV also and also refrigerator also. And also the total resistance in parallel circuit is decreased. If you take in a series combination in RS, that is always greater than the individual resistor. That means R1, R2 and R3. This thing I already discussed in the last class. The Rs is always greater than R1, R2 and R3. But in parallel combination, the Rp is always less than R1, R2 and R3. And see, in the last slide I discussed about one numerical problem. See, 1 by the R1 is 5, R2 is 10, R3 equal to 30. And see the RP value is 3 ohm. So compare the 3 with R1. The R1 is greater. Comparing to RP with R2, the R2 is greater. Compare RP with R3, the R3 is greater. So from this we can say that in a parallel combination, the RP is always less than the individual resistor. So this is a major advantages of parallel combination. See, in total resistance in a parallel circuit is decreased. This is helpful practically when each gadget has a different resistance, require different current to operate properly. I hope you understood what are the advantage and disadvantages of series and parallel combination in our domestic electric circuit are given by a parallel combination. The next topic is Keating effect of electric current. Under this topic, we are going to see what is the definition, derivation, uses, numerical problems. Look at these images. This is a tube light, AC, refrigerator, heater, laptop, lamp, mobile phone. These all the electric gadgets are running by uses of electricity. We know that. And there are the three uses of electricity. One is heating effect of electric current, and another one is magnetic effect of electric current. The third one is chemical effect of electric current. If you take a heater, the heater is working upon heating effect of electric current. If you take electric motor, the electric motor is work by magnetic effect of electric current. And if you take electroplating, this is working by chemical effect of electric current. For in this class, we are going to see heating effect of electric current. The next unit, chapter number 13, we are going to learn magnetic effect of electric current. The chemical effect of electric current we have learned in higher classes in plus 1 and plus 2. So first, what is meant by? First, we are going to see what is meant by heating effect of electric current. Look at this image. Here I connected the bulb with battery. When the circuit is a closed circuit, the current is flowing in the circuit, the bulb is started to glow. So here in electric bulb, electrical energy is converted into heat energy and light energy. See, when I am giving the electrical energy, this energy is converted to heat energy and light energy. So when I am giving the current, the filament in the bulb is started to heat. Due to heat, it gives light. So here the electrical energy is converted into heat energy and then light energy. So from this we can define the heating effect of electric current. When an electric current passes through a conductor like a high resistance wire, the conductor becomes hot after some time and produce heat. So this is called heating effect of electric current. See, if you take an electric bulb, the electric bulb contain the filament. So this filament is a high resistance filament. When the current is passes through a conductor like a high resistance wire, the conductor becomes hot. After some time, it produces heat. So this effect is called heating effect of electric. Due to the electric current, we get heating effect. So this effect is called heating effect of electric current. Why this heating effect is happened? When we are passing the current in a high resistance wire, it becomes hot. Why this heating effect is happened? The one reason, if you take a conductor, this is a conductor, it's connected to a battery and switch. When electrons moving in the conductor, you know that the conductor contains many electrons. When we connected to a battery, the electrons are started to flow. When electrons moving in the conductor, it collide with atoms in the conductor. So electron has to overcome the resistance of the conductor. So this loss of energy is dissipated in the form of heat. Are you understand? If you take a conductor, the conductor has atom and the atom has electrons. When we connected this conductor to a battery, the electrons are moved from one atom to another atom. But it collide with the atom. Due to that colliding of the atom, it overcome the resistance of atom of the conductor. Listen, once again I will explain you. When electrons moving in the conductor, it collide with the atom in the conductor. So electron has to overcome the resistance of the conductor. This loss of energy is dissipated in the form of heat. Example, if you take one classroom, there are 100 members are sitting in this classroom. You have to move within this 100 members. So when you are moving within this 100 members, your energy must be lost. The same as when the electrons moving in the conductor, because of the collision of the atom, it has lost their energy in the form of heat. So dependency of heat generated in the conductor. So how much? So what is meant by dependency of heat generated in the conductor? If you take a conductor, the heat definitely the heat is dissipated. So what are the terms it depends of heat generated in the conductor? If you take a conductor, the conductor has a resistance R and the voltage is given, V voltage is given. The I current is flowing in the circuit. We have to take a time T. So we can write charge equal to current into time. How we can take charge equal to current into time? From an electric current equation, we know that electric current I equal to Q by T. So when the current flowing in the circuit, how much charge will flowing in the conductor? So how to calculate how much charge flowing in the conductor? We know the formula charge equal to current into time. So we can write Q equal to I into T, the equation number 1. And electrical potential difference, we know that the amount of work done required to move unit charge between 2 points. So when the charge move from A to B, we have to done some work. So the amount of work done required to move a charge between 2 points. So how to calculate the work done? V equal to W by Q, we know that. From this we can write W equal to V into Q. Once again I will explain you. If you take a conductor, the conductor has a resistance R and we are given the voltage V. The current I is flowing in the conductor in time T. And from this we can calculate the value of Q equal to how much charges will flow in the conductor. We can calculate Q equal to I into T, and how much work we have to done to move this electrons or charges from one point to another point. W equal to V into Q. So W equal to V into Q, and we have substitute Q equal to IT from the first formula into V. First formula we know that Q equal to IT. So I can substitute instead of Q, I into T and V. And this is the work done in the conductor. So this work done is dissipated in the form of heat. So W is equal to heat. That means H. H equal to V into I into T. From Ohm's law, V equal to IR. So I substitute instead of V, IR, I into T. So I into I square, R, T. So H equal to I squared RT. This is called Joule's law of heating. So how much heat is dissipated in the conductor? How to calculate? H equal to I square RT. From this we know that I equal to, from Ohm's law, V equal to IR, I equal to V by R. So instead of I square, I can substitute V by R whole square, R T, and V squared by R squared, R into T. R cancel, so V squared by R into T. So these two formula are very important to calculate heat dissipated. This is a first formula, this is a second formula. H equal to I squared RT, or H equal to V squared by RT. Here square is missed, please put square. This is known as Joule's law of heating. So when we are giving current in the conductor, the sum of energy is used as a heat and some is used for working the appliance. So this law implies that heat produced in a resistor is the heat produced, that means H equal to I squared RT. So the heat produced in a resistor is directly proportional to the square of a given resistance, that is I squared. Here square is missed. So H equal to directly proportional to square of the current. The next one, H directly proportional to the resistance of the given current, that means R. And H is directly proportional to the time for which the current flows through the resistor. So the H is directly proportional to square of the current, and H is directly proportional to the R, and H is directly proportional to the T. This is a very important formula, Joule's law of heating. Here square is missed, so I squared RT. Are you understand what is meant by the heating effect of electric current? When the current is flowing in the circuit, some of the energy is dissipated in the form of heat. So this effect is called heating effect of electric current. So what is the unit of heat? H equal to I squared RT. You know the SI unit of current is ampere and resistance is ohm, time is second. So the unit of H, the heat is joule or kilojoule. Joule or kilojoule is the unit of heat. Look at this numerical problem. Find the heat energy produced in a resistor of 10 ohm when 5 ampere current flows through it for 5 minutes. See, you have to calculate heat energy produced in a resistance of 10 ohm, 5 ampere current flows and for 5 minutes. Solution. They given R equal to 10 ohm, R equal to 10 ohm, I equal to 5 ampere, T equal to 5 minutes. First check the SI unit, R equal to ohm, okay, ohm. I equal to ampere, ampere. But T equal to second, but they given minute. So you have to convert from minute to second. T equal to 5 into 60, so 300 second. Now you know the formula, H equal to I squared RT, not I RT, I squared RT. So you have to substitute the value of I squared, so I squared, so 5 into 5, the value of R is a 10, the value of T is a 300. When I multiply 5 into 5, 25 and 10 and 300. So 25 into 10, 250 and 300. Now 250 into 300 equal to 75,000 joule. So you know the formula of unit of heat, that is a joule or kilojoule. So 75,000 we can write 75 into 1000. So 75,000 equal to 1 kilojoule. 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joule. 1000 joule. So 75 kilojoule. That means 1 kilojoule equal to 1000 joule. Are you understand how I written 75 kilojoule? Because 75 into 1000. 1000 joule. Instead of 1000 joule, I can written kilojoule because 1 kilojoule is equal to the 1000 joule. So 75 into 1 kilojoule equal to 75 kilojoule. Are you understood how to calculate the heat produced in the electric gadgets using the formula H equal to I squared RT. This is a homework sum you have to do. An electric iron of resistance 20 ohm takes a current 5 ampere. Calculate the heat developed in 30 seconds. The second question, 100 joule of heat are produced each second in a 4 ohm resistor. Find the potential difference across the resistor. So I hope you understood. Thank you for watching. If you have any doubt in these topics, you can ask through Teachment doubt session. Thank you for watching.